After 2 years, Uhtred of Bebenbau is finally back, and we've had this Last Kingdom Season 3. And I want to say this, we're in Season 3, so if you guys are watching this video, I expect you guys have seen the first 2 seasons and most of Season 3, because I'm going deep into spoilers in this review. Because again, like I said, this is Season 3, and there's a lot to talk about in this season, because a lot has happened. It took us 2 years since the end of Season 2, but we're finally back in the show, and the story picks up a few years later after the ending of Season 2. And we find that Uhtred is back, and at this point in the story, Uhtred and Gisela have a few kids, and Uhtred is actually still fighting in Alfred's wars. Now, what's really interesting about this season is, throughout the first 2 seasons of The Last Kingdom, we know that Uhtred has been suffering through a lot of loss. Like everything Uhtred holds near and dear has died or been killed off in his life, and he finally has a slice of happiness. Even though he doesn't have Bebenbau yet, he has a nice life in Wessex. He has a wife, he has kids, and he's winning wars, defeating Danes, and he's overall on Alfred's good graces. However, it doesn't take long until his wife dies in childbirth, and he has a falling out with Alfred due to Ethelwald's meddling. And we're gonna get into Ethelwald, because if there's a character that I hate the most throughout the first 3 seasons, it has to be Ethelwald. This character should have died a long time ago. However, because of his meddling, Uhtred and Alfred get into it again, and Uhtred does what Uhtred does best, and he's pretty much looks out for himself, even though deep down, Uhtred is a good guy. Like, all the steps and all the choices he makes are choices of survival, and he always seems to make the right decisions. However, those around him always have a falling out, or always have some sort of different motives or different reactions to his decisions, because everyone is looking out for their best interest. Even though Uhtred himself is also looking out for his best interest, he also finds himself looking out for the betterment of everyone around him, as opposed to his own personal gain. And that's what makes it so tragic, and that's what makes Uhtred's story that much more tragic, because not only does he lose his wife in this season, he loses custody of his children, basically. He loses his brother, Ragnar is killed, and his sister Tira is killed, and all of that happens because of Ethelwald. So just one guy is the bane of Uhtred's existence. Even though Uhtred doesn't know just how deep the mechanisms of Ethelwald's ploys go, we as the audience can see just how fucked up this guy is, and it pisses me off to no end that he was able to last as long as he did. One thing I will say about this season is the dynamic and the friendship and the relationship between Uhtred and Alfred is even more poignant in this season, and the fact that they can coexist and have this rivalry, it's hard for me to make it. It's like a hesitant bromance almost, because while they both have great mutual respect for each other, they both strongly disagree with what each other stands for, and they both strongly disagree with each other's choices. And I like that dynamic between the 2 characters, especially as Alfred starts to die off in this season because of his illness, and now Alfred realizes that he's standing on the shoulders of Uhtred. Everything that Alfred has done has been on the back of Uhtred, and he realizes that his son will not last as king unless Uhtred is by his side. So he tries to get Uhtred to join his son, even though Uhtred doesn't want a life of servitude, and Uhtred just wants to go home and be with his family. You know what I'm saying? And it's so hard, and he has to do so much things, and he has to cast aside everyone that he loved for the betterment of essentially the whole kingdom. Like, he left his wife, so he didn't even get to see his wife pass. He didn't even get to see his children. He was with Ragnar, but because the kingdom needed him, he had to leave his brother behind, and Ragnar was killed. And because of Alfred's funeral, he had to leave his sister Tira behind, and Tira was also killed in the most gruesome of ways. So this season really is more of the same when it comes to Uhtred. It's really more of him going through the stuff that he has to go through while building his own legend. And despite the fact that Uhtred is building his own legend, Alfred is writing it down in his own history. He's taking pretty much the credit for everything that Uhtred has done. So even though he realizes personally that he is indebted to Uhtred, the world doesn't see it that way, and a lot of the characters around don't see just how valuable Uhtred is. And I have to say, this season of Last Kingdom is pretty much the best season, because we see the rise and fall of Uhtred. We see Uhtred is more fleshed out. He's more cognizant, because Uhtred's friends, his soldiers, his comrades in arms, they believe in Uhtred. They know him. So no matter what Uhtred says, no matter what order he gives, they're always down for the cause, because they understand the character of Uhtred, and they understand just how great his character is. This season of Last Kingdom, I have to say, is thoroughly enjoyable. I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed the previous 2 seasons. I will say, making it 10 episodes is like, because there are some episodes that do seem a bit stretched out. However, they covered so much in this story, and the fact that they had such an open ending, like when season 4 comes around, we don't know exactly where they can go, because everything up until this point has been pretty much tied up in a bow, but we know that there are more adventures for Uhtred beyond what happened these 2 seasons, and I'd love to see what happened after Alfred? Like, how is Uhtred received? How is his world changed? Does he get Bebenbow back? Like, all of these are questions. That are left lingering in our minds, and I feel like the show has to explore them. And we have to see Uhtred in a world without Alfred, because Alfred was essentially his pillar. So no matter what Uhtred did, he always had something to go back to. But now Uhtred has no purpose. He's not indebted to Alfred. He has no land. He has no home. He has no wife. Like, Uhtred is pretty much lost. He even says so, the character says so, he has no purpose. So I'd love to see from this moment on a new purpose for Uhtred, and just how he fulfills his own life when he's not in service to others and he has nothing but his own future and well-being to focus on. Anyway, guys, that's my review on The Last Kingdom Season 3. Let me know in the comment section below. Did you like this season? Did you not like it? What are your thoughts overall on this season? If you like this video, definitely hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you guys haven't already. And until next time, binge on.